my lovely lock minions. Join me as I tackle this task of combining my locks again without using rubber bands, but a crochet hook and a crochet needle. Keep watching, duh. Hello, my lovely lock minions, and those of you that are new to my channel. My name is Mfon. I'm a teacher, dancer, and hair guru for locks. And on this channel, we're gonna crochet my hair. Crochet, what do you mean by that? Okay, interlock it. Interlock, what do you mean by that? No rubber bands? No rubber bands? What do you mean by that? I'm combining my locks, and I want to show you how I use two tools to do that without using rubber bands. So if you're interested, keep watching. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Duh. And come back to my channel, Locs for You to Love. Have you ever wondered how to combine your locks without using rubber bands? Well, you're in the right place. But let me tell you something. Those rubber bands do come in handy. I've used rubber band or the rubber band method to secure new growth that have a harder time just staying in the lock. And over time, I just let the rubber band pop and then my lock does its thing and I had no issues. So I'm gonna show you a better way. So keep watching. Today, we're gonna talk about combining your locks by using a tool, crochet needle, as well as a crochet hook. This is the interlock method, and then just the needle just to keep that thing together without using a rubber band. And this technique is such a game changer because it helped me in so many ways when it comes to fixing broken or weak locks, or combining locks so they have a solid foundation. And anybody who wants to combine their locks and figure out how to repair their locks in the safest and efficient way, you should do this. So keep watching. We all have been there before, trying to keep our hair nice and neat and finding out that the rubber band is creating more of damage to the lock than actually making it stay intact or keeping it together. Now, there's many reasons why people would use rubber bands. For me, I use the rubber band method, and I use it on new growth. I don't use it on my locks per se. The locks that are mature, it's not really that great to have rubber bands on them because you're changing the dynamic of the lock itself, and that creates weak spots and breakage and damage, which you don't want. On the new growth, usually I use rubber bands on the front of my hair for the new growth, depending. And with the new growth, what I do is I do twist the hair a little bit, but then I take a rubber band and I just wrap it around, maybe 4 or 5 times so it can keep the new growth where it's at. On top of that, I would also use a crochet needle or crochet hook. And I would take the new growth around the new lock and intertwine it with that lock. And then the new growth would be intact with the rubber band. And I would leave the rubber band in until it pops on its own. And when it pops, then I just leave it alone and my hair does fine. Now, when I'm combining locks, that is a different topic. Keep watching. First, let's start with the crochet. This tool right here helps me. I interlock my locks once every 3 to 4 months. If you're interested on how I do that, I have a video somewhere on my channel that will show you how to interlock your hair. Now, this interlock method works best for me. It keeps the hair secure, it keeps it in place, and it keeps me out of my head. So if I compare it to twisting or retwisting your lock, I don't have to worry about my lock coming out. It is stuck, it's done, like it's locked up already. And that works best for me because I'm very active and I don't like to be in my hair a lot. And one of my goals through this journey is not to be in my hair as much. The interlocking method works for me, and this tool helps a lot, especially if you are trying to get the lock closer to your scalp. For me, what I do is I interlock with my and I keep on threading the lock through until I can't thread it through anymore. And then I'll just maybe go right to our hook just to make sure it's a little more secure. Give you an idea of what it looks like for me when I interlock my hair. I freshly did this maybe 2 or 3 days ago, so you can see what like. And I did not interlock my hair for about 7 months, so it was a lot of new growth and it's very time consuming, but once you get into a routine, it's worth it. So I interlocked my hair in December. I didn't touch my hair when it comes to retwisting or interlocking for 7 months, so it does well. But I wouldn't recommend going so long depending on your hair. I would recommend 3 to 4 months to interlock your hair. Now, in this situation, we're gonna do interlocking and a crochet needle. So if you're still interested, keep watching. Next, we have the crochet method. This requires a tool that has a crochet hook or needle, however you want to call it. It's different things because I feel like they're hand in hand, the both like the same thing. So there's 3 different kinds. You have 1 prong, you have 2 prongs, and then you have 3 prongs. And depending on the thickness of your hair and what you're trying to accomplish, you decide which one you want to use. I feel like for this method, I'm probably going to use just 1, maybe 2, depending, because it is going to be kind of thick when I combined it. And this tool helps with fixing weak locks, connecting or attaching your locks back together, or combining your locks. So if you're still interested, keep watching. Duh. Okay. So let's get into this process of combining. First, you pick out your sections of hair that you want to combine. So for me, mine is in the front. And let me give you a little backstory of the front of my hair. The front of my hair, the middle of my hair, and the sides of my hair are my problem areas where my hair likes to fall out. So it usually happens because of stress. So I'm very mindful of those areas. Now for the front part of my hair, it used to be thinner. I'll give you an example. This lock right here is about how thin this lock used to be, but it's a little bit thicker. I don't know if you can tell. You can't really. But you can see the pattern of the lock of me combining. And this is where I did use a rubber band at the end just to make sure they stay together and they merge. So over time, I can continue to use the crochet hook and then get those things solidified to be one unit. You hear me? So my idea is to make them thicker. I have this one on this side, which is a little thicker than this one, but I want to combine these 2 together. And so the size of my lock is gonna be about as big as you see over here. And I want to combine these two together. And the size of the lock is going to be as big as what's right here. And so those are going to be my two thick locks in the front. I wear my hair like that and I like what it looks like. So I want to maintain that kind of idea for my hair because that's what works for me and hopefully it works for you. So I sectioned my two parts. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to 2-strand twist the parts together first, and then I'm gonna rubber band the end to keep it together. So keep watching. These are my two lovely pieces that I wanna join together. So I'm going to take it about where the lock starts because I have a lot of new growth and there's a reason for that. So I'll explain the reasoning now as I'm twisting. I leave room towards the front because I don't want to cause any tension because the front of my hair is more prone to falling out. So I just cater to it differently and it's been working out fine for me. So as I get closer to the end, I see where it stops. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this rubber band and then I'm going to wrap it towards the end of it, probably 5 times, but going in a downward motion. And then here's the size of my lock. And this is the size of like my square, big square. So with that, then I'm gonna take my crochet hook and I'm going to interlock it. I'm probably going to interlock it I'll probably do 3 passes. So I think I'm probably gonna start here, here, and here. So then it can end down. So for me, I'm gonna take my hook, put that thing through. And you don't even have to do that. I could have just fed it through, but I wanna kind of show you what that looks like. So that's one pass. Now I'm gonna go on this side and I'm gonna show you what it looks like with my finger because I did tell you I use my finger too. I just feed that thing through. That's my second pass. And I'm kind of good with that though. I don't know if I want another pass. I think I'm good with the 2 passes because I don't like a lot of tension here. So with that being said, then I take my crochet needle and what I do is I just start bringing the hair through across to the other side. Now, it's all different for everybody else, but for me, per se, I do it a couple of times. I don't do it too many. And I just keep it in this twist. And over time, the twist merges into one. Okay, so you still see the pattern here, and for me, over time, I will make sure this stays, and I'll just crochet it over time. So this is the other part that I'm going to crochet as well. Now, when I say no rubber bands, I mean no rubber bands at the root. I use rubber bands towards the end to hold this lock because this is how I want my lock to eventually merge together. But as for the new growth, no. So wherever this new growth is, then I'm gonna start twisting. And I keep going until I get to the end. And so then that just means I'm gonna have to either cut this lock or merge it to see if it's the same length on the other side. And then I just wrap this 5 times. And as you can see, they're 2 different lengths. So I would cut this off here eventually. And so I'm gonna interlock this section. I'll start here, and depending if I need to go one more, I'll end up here, but I don't think I did it for the other side. I think I only did it twice. So, and you can use the crochet hook. I'm just gonna use my hand for now. On this side, because this seems a little tight. Tighter than usual. Okay, and then we're gonna do one more. This seems a little tighter than the other side, but I do wanna do one more on, wait, this. I have to figure out if I wanna do it this way or do I wanna do it this way. It's gonna be this way. This way. I think that. Okay, I'm not saying that. Why are you not saying that? Sorry. Oh, look. This is thicker than a snicker. All right, so I did 2 passes. And this one's a little tighter. So it makes me kind of want to do one more pass for this one. I think I'm going to do one more pass because how tight that is. And again, it depends on what's comfortable for you. This is not going through like I want it to. There we go. I feel good. And I feel good here. So these are my 2 locks that I interlocked together, and I'm happy with. Now, when it comes to combining your locks, it's a process and it takes time. Over time, I will come back and crochet the lock just to make sure it's secure. But the ultimate test is when the new growth starts to see if your part that you interlock the new growth and the combined lock stays together. And from my experience, from past experience, it does a great job over time. And eventually, the lock that you combine, they combine together and it becomes a new lock. So be patient. It's part of the journey. You just gotta wait. But I'm happy. The only thing that I'm gonna do is cut this lock because I want it to match. These are my 2 like main front pieces, and so I want it to be the same size. And so I'm gonna end up cutting them so it can be even. And yes, the moment of truth happens once you see over time that those locks have combined and it maintained the health of your locks. And it's just beautiful technique that doesn't require too much manipulation with the lock and interrupting the foundation. So let's go over the 3 advantages of combining your locks. 1, it produces any more damages or breakage happening to your lock. 2, it creates a firm foundation for your lock and your hair to grow. And then 3, you just have a peace of mind knowing that you are taking care of your hair in the best way through this lock journey. If you are feeling inspired to try this method, combine a lock that you feel is weak or experiment. It's your journey. Don't forget, you can use a crochet hook or your finger, or you can use this crochet needle or hook to combine the lock over time, or try to combine it there. If you don't feel comfortable, you always can seek a professional to help you with that process. If you do feel comfortable, experiment and see what happens. If you enjoyed this video, check out my channel for more like this. And comment below if you have any questions, tips, or advice on how to combine your locks, or what techniques you use that's better. Or maybe you like the rubber band method and you're just like, whatever, chill. Technically, I use the rubber band method, but not towards my scalp. So, peace.